The federal government is muzzling scientists just because they want to control the message. They want to control as much information as possible in order to limit anything negative. Now, instead of scientists being able to just speak to journalists, they have to go to their supervisors, communications officers, or even the minister's office sometimes and get approval. And sometimes it's so specific that they need to get approval of the very lines that they're going to send in response to questions. The scientists attending the International Polar Year 2012 conference in Montreal were told that if they were approached by journalists and they were asked for a comment on something, they were to say, I can't speak to you now, here's my card, we'll set up an interview. And then what they would have to do is go to their communications department, discuss the journalist, discuss what they were going to be talking about. And the communications teams would actually go with scientists, if they were allowed to speak to these journalists, and would accompany them to the interviews. We're talking about scientific, fact-based research. We're not talking about policy opinions. These people are paid by taxpayers, they're paid by you and I, to do this research in order to make Canadians and the governments more informed. It's not opinion-based, it's based in fact. Canadians need this information. They need as much information as possible to make informed decisions about critical issues in their day-to-day lives. Without this information, we can't really know what policies we want politicians to focus on or to not focus on, or whether the policies that politicians and parties have put together are based in fact or based in something a little less reliable than fact. History tells us politicians break promises. They talk a great talk. They are terrible at walking the walk. So we have to keep these things in mind. We have to keep these practices in mind, and we have to understand whether or not they've actually made it a legal requirement to do things better when we're casting our ballot. Because at the end of the day, politicians want to be reelected, and they'll do pretty much anything to be reelected.